All right, so just some quick introductions. I'm Lindsay Kelly. I'll be doing your presentation today, and then Sarah Chambers will be in joining me. We've got Sally Reddick and Corey Hilliard here with us as well. So please, as in any other presentation that we do, feel free, turn your mute off. Ask any questions that you may have. Feel free to type them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer any questions. We will have plenty of time at the end of the presentation if you have any questions that we can just have kind of an open session and go over those with you. So over the break, we had lots of updates and enhancements. So just a friendly reminder, when you are going into the catalog, into your server, if you see that Meta Solutions logo with the little red oval and it has a number in it, that means that you have updates to install. So it's very easy to do. You can just click on that logo, and when you do, your Meta Catalog dock will slide out. It will show you that you have installer updates, and you can click on that installer, or you can go on your start page. On your left nav, you'll click on your applications, and then you'll click on the Meta installer. Once you're in the installer, it will show you at the top how many updates are available, and you will just go ahead and click on that. Then you'll be all up to date and you'll have the latest customizations and bug fixes. So some things over since our last presentation, some bug fixes that we had. Although we thought the sleuth monkey was pretty cool, in our meta documentation, if you tried to pull that up and go to our YouTube link, or also if you Googled our YouTube link, this monkey came up. So this has been fixed on both the meta documentation and on Google, so you shouldn't see that anymore. And then also, there was an issue with one of the customizations saving new information into your superintendent's name field. So we're asking everyone to please go to District Management, District Setup, District Info, and ensure that your superintendent's name is correct and that it was not replaced with the words new value. Then our alert builder. We're very, very excited about this new enhancement that we have called the Smart Trigger. This is just going to continually evolve as we go. We've already got some new things happening here, but right now for the Smart Trigger, you will notice that there are up to 3 triggers that you can provide in here. You can use and or logic, but it can only be one or the other. So it can be 3 ands, 3 ors. If you do need to use both and or, just put in a ticket. We'll be more than happy to help you with an advanced trigger. But this is really, really exciting. Our team is currently working on just further enhancing this for you, and there's just some wonderful things coming down the pike. Another thing, we had a district, well, several districts that had a large number of alerts. So if you're trying to populate those, this alert indicator will now show if you have a large number trying to populate and they aren't all loaded yet, you'll see this indicator up here. It is only available in the admin portal, but it will be added to the other portal shortly. And then we're also working on optimizing the load speed for alerts. All right, our daily attendance info. So this is mainly for our Ohio districts. We've had lots of attendance changes in Ohio over the last several months. So some of the things that you'll notice, we have the attendance code summary box, and then we have the attendance category summary box. So some of the updates that you'll notice are any of the present codes are going to be in green, and then the medical codes will be in red. You'll also notice on the attendance category summary, the excused absence total and the unexcused absence total. For our non-Ohio districts, we have the counts functions for all of the codes, so you'll still see it counts just that, but in Ohio, we do hours. So that has been added to try to help understand. Also in the category summary, we've had some questions about the excused and the unexcused. Tardies will be calculated in whichever category they have been assigned. So if you have unexcused tardies, those will be included in your unexcused hours over here. So you will see those, sometimes those will get added in twice on the category summary, but it's only because of what category has been chosen for that code itself. All right, and then friendly reminder for anyone who hasn't, it's time to check those report cards. We've had lots of report card tickets pouring in lately, and we greatly appreciate everyone who has already checked, made sure that those report cards are ready to go. We just don't want you to contact us on the day of printing and it's not going well or it's not going as anticipated. We want to make sure that we're already ahead of the game and we have those all ready for you when it's time to print. All right, with our report cards, on the attendance, lots of people probably didn't even see this, but just in case you did, we noticed while we were testing that there was future attendance polling. So you can see, just like our present codes are green, the medical is red, you'll notice here that any future attendance is in this gold color. So future attendance should not be polling on any of the report cards, and after we fix this bug, it will not be polling. And then we also had a request by a couple of our districts that they only wanted certain attendance codes to be counted for the report cards. So now you can go into your report card settings, and under your attendance settings, the school can actually put in which code you would like. So as you can see here, it's comma separated. So you have A, comma, U. You do not want to insert any extra spaces. So you wouldn't want to put A, comma, space, U. Some districts do use spaces in their attendance codes. So that would not pull correctly if you add in an extra space. Then on the report card, some bug fixes. Our course name updated. So last year, 2024-25, the course name was College Prep English 11. And then over the summer, you updated that course name to be English 11. You can see last year grades populated, but this year grades did not populate. When we added the course combined feature, this caused some of the issues with course names when they're updated, but this has been corrected. So now those grades will populate as you would expect, even if that course name has been updated. Then the school header missing. Say we've got that student transferred in, their historical grades were entered at the district office, then the student header would not load on the report card. This has been corrected, so it will load as we would anticipate. Okay, any questions up to this point on fixes? Okay, so we'll have Sarah go ahead and she's going to come in and she's going to cover the published grade portion for the report cards.
Okay, so on the report card settings, under the parent student portal. So when you go to your report card settings, you're on the general tab and right about in the middle, parent student portal settings. You have always been able to, in addition to say show it or not show it, you've been able to determine which terms are going to be seen and which ones aren't. So for instance, in the example Lindsay has on her screen, the portal terms removed from the current year, she's got everything from Q2 to the end of the year. That means only Q1 grades will show to the parents and the students on the report card until she comes in here, and when it's ready to see quarter two, she has to come in here, remove quarter two from that list, and then parents could see quarter one and quarter two. They would not see the grades for quarter three and beyond because she's saying don't show them. And this works great, but the issue was you had to remember to come in here and take quarter two off, or you had to remember to get this all set up. So the first top part has been there for a long time. What Corey has added to this is the bottom part, the published grades. So you wouldn't have to remember to come and turn that on. You could blank out that portal terms, and then you could say publish the grade, and then you have options. Always means that you want to see the grades as soon as they're available. If you're on the grade book or if you're on historical grades, as soon as they're in there, you will see them. Or you have some other examples that you could put in there. If you put in a 5, it would publish those grades. So for the current term, I've got my quarter one grades in there, and now I'm in quarter two. If I have a 5 there, it's going to publish those grades or display those grades on the report card 5 days after the term end date. If I said 0 here, it would show them immediately. If on the term date, it would show it on the term date. Always means you're going to see them right away. If you had a minus sign, it would say show them before the term end date. So you've got options. The bottom part is the new part. It's the automated part. We're just trying to make it easier so people don't have to remember. We'd get tickets all the time that said, nobody can see my quarter two grades. Well, it's because you didn't remember to come here and take that out. So these two things will work together, but the top part always will take precedence. So, if you don't want to have to mess with it, you want it to be automatic, just take all the stuff out of the top and use the published grades at the bottom. Questions about that? If not, it's just part of our, hey, let's make this easier for everybody. And that's what Corey's done here. So I don't see any questions on that, Lindsay.
Okay, we'll keep moving. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
All right, so on the report cards, on standards, you will see that we now have the option to put the title name of the standard. So whatever the standard core name, so like we have social studies here, this standard comment label will now allow you to show the actual standard. So instead of it just saying comment and being a little confusing as to where that comment associates back to, that comment will now have the name available. So you'll just go into your report card settings under standards, and then you can toggle that to whichever you would prefer to see. Then along with that, there's also a new printing availability for standard report cards. So right now it is set to default to split. But if you want to save some white space, that's what you'll do. You'll split your standards. But we had some districts saying that they would like to keep their standards together with the comments. So it would be a little less confusing for the parents to read which comments are going along with those standards. And if that's what you would like to do, then all you do is you would keep standard comments attached. So that is a new option for you, however you would like to print your comments with your standard report cards. All right, then on our standards test, our obsolete test. This is a really nice feature for those who have a very long list of standardized tests. And here you can see on our ACT 5, the new option is to check mark obsolete test. When you check mark that, and then you go back to your standards list. You'll click on your show all, and then you'll see ACT 5 is now italicized. Please note that by making a test obsolete, you are simply hiding it from the viewing selection or from allowing it to be added as a new test from a student. So no data is being removed. It is simply just a different option for you. So if you have 50 standardized tests and you want to take some of those out of view, you just click on obsolete and you could easily take that down 30, 40 tests. So it's a lot easier to find your options. If you do go on to the student page, then you'll notice that the ACT 5 is no longer an option for a new score. Missing assignments. This is one of my favorites. As a mom of a high school student, I love to be able to go in and to see if my daughter has any missing assignments, or what her most recent 10 grades were. And I know we kind of covered this on our last presentation, but as you can see, if they didn't do so well, it corresponds with the grade color. Sorry, losing my words. So if they didn't do very well, if they got an F, they'll be red. If it's a D, they got a yellow or a orange. Green if they did really well. So you can see it up to your most recent 10 assignments. And then you can also see if they have any upcoming assignments. So this was a really nice new enhancement that was created as parents, and we're trying to dig through those assignments, maybe what they didn't do so well on or what they're missing. In the old view, now you have these three tiles for you on your quick lookup. So this enhancement, once it's enabled, the default is that all portals are selected. So if the buildings go in, they can choose if they don't want this on one of the portals. You just go to your quick lookup display preferences, and then you would just uncheck it if you do not want it visible on that portal. So say you just don't want your teachers to see that, then you can just uncheck that for them. But if you haven't looked at that, it's a really, really nice enhancement. All right, then our report cards. The report cards, we've prevented printing any excluded terms from the parent view. So hidden terms no longer appear during mass printing from any portal. In fixing this, we've also realized that this could create a new difficulty. Say your term is hidden until Friday, but you plan on sending out those report cards on Monday. So we will be working on providing a new parameter that will allow you to print those in advance, even if they are an excluded term. This also prevented student scales from appearing when linked standards were marked as not scorable by teachers. So say you have a standard that was just a comment and you maybe put a default grade scale to it. It's not used by any other standard, but that default would show up. That scale will no longer be there. That was fixed. And then for courses, kind of like our course name displayed earlier in the slides, when courses were set to do not combine and they were missing manually entered course numbers, the grade would not display. And then the logo, we've adjusted the layering so the school's name would appear without being covered up. We're constantly working on items like this, so if you need any fine-tuning adjustments to any district logos, just please put in a ticket with us and we'll be more than happy to look at that for you. All right, excluded terms. So percent grades and citizenship grades were not being excluded when the terms were excluded. This is an item that has been fixed. And then honorable messages are no longer displayed on excluded terms either. All right, and this is very brand new, just new in the works. We have added a parent view log. So if districts want to be able to see what parents have not looked at their student report cards, currently it's at district management, academics, report card, and view parent log. So this is just in the first stages. We will continually be working on this to make this better and better. Right now it is only at the district level, but it will be something that we can make into the building level. We can do sortable. There will be all different kinds of options to make this easier. So if districts go in and they see that certain students' parents have not viewed those report cards, they can make that a student, or I'm sorry, their student selection, and then they could go in and they could print all of those report cards for parents that have not been able to look at the student report card. Right, then in the alert builder, we fixed some special characters that were blocking from loading an alert. So we noticed the forward slash was blocking one of our alerts. So we got that item fixed. We corrected the go-to page from reverting back to an undefined page. So it will go to the page that you've instructed it to. Code set sorting. We covered this a little bit in the last presentation, but just to go back, code set sorting has had a big overhaul. PowerSchool did pagination on this page, and that kind of created some difficulties for the manual code sorting. So that has all been updated. Any code sets that are less than 1,000 items, they can be manually sorted. If they're over 1,000, unfortunately, they cannot be. That's a hard code set that was done by PowerSchool that we cannot get around. So anything under 1,000, you can go in, you can do your manual sort. When we were in there, we noticed that some of the sorting options, it would create a large gap or a highlight as we didn't anticipate. So that item has been fixed, and then you can go in and save. So the manual sort is really, really nice feature to go in and help you with some of those code sets that are absolutely enormous. It's a real big time saver. Then on your power tools, we've removed the power tools from the external EUI. If you have not installed the new version of Power Tools, after the new installer update, you want to go to the community plugins, delete the old Power Tools, and then you will install the new plugin. Legacy alerts, a lot of them are for Ohio, but there are some that are not. You'll notice we've talked about legacy alerts for quite a while now. There is a pop-up that is indicating any legacy alert and that they will be phased out. Legacy alerts will be removed this summer. So if you do, you'll notice on that pop-up that it says, please recreate this using the alert builder. So please just make sure if you have a legacy alert, you can go into your catalog and you can just go into your search and then you type in legacy and that will show you any legacy alerts that are there. But please make sure that you get those updated before the summer. And then just some of our dark mode fixes. There was a report card, school and principal information, and then emergency medical. And then again, on attendance for our Ohio districts, the HB 410 banner has been updated to the truancy and chronic absenteeism information. If you want to go back for any year prior to 2025, you would just change your year, and then you would see that your HB 410 banner is still available. Obviously, you won't have any monthly information because it was in a previous year. There won't be any up-to-date monthly information. But this is just for Ohio as all of our new attendance laws are coming about.